What's up, everyone? Michael Heath with Get Automating Round 2, Signature API. As you recall in the previous video, getting started, we got set up with Signature API. We got it talking with Power Automate. We got that connection. We set up our test API key, and we got our dummy document uploaded. Today, we're going to continue that, and we're going to build out our document signing automation within Power Automate. Let's go get it done. All right, so we're going to start here at make.powerautomate.com. We're in the My Flow section, and we're going to come up here to a new flow. We're going to click on Instant Cloud Flow. We'll give it a name, and we're going to make this a manually triggered flow. Go ahead and click Create. The first thing we need to grab is our dummy consent that we placed in SharePoint in the previous videos. To do so, we're going to come over here to our Add an Action pane and get file content. We're going to select that, and we're going to statically point to our SharePoint site address, as well as statically grabbing the file, the dummy consent. Once you've located that document and populated it within the get file content, we can now start to reference our Signature API connectors. To do so, it's rinse and repeat. All of our Signature API connectors are going to be located in the Add an Action pane once searched for. And we're going to be coming back here over and over and over. See more to see the entire list of actions that are available. So the very first thing we're going to do is create an envelope. All right, so we're going to give our envelope a title, and we'll give it a message. Envelope message does not have a red asterisk, meaning it's optional. All right, so after we've created our envelope, we have to add some elements to it. So we'll start off, recipient name, John Doe, recipient email, john@example.com. All right, so keep in mind, we don't have to statically populate data within these fields. We can dynamically assign that using data from previous steps and actions. All right, so recipient key. This is a role. This is something that's very specific to your scenario. It could be employer, client, customer. So consenter goes in recipient key in this particular case. Envelope ID, dynamic data, and we're going to reference the envelope ID. Right, let's add our document template. File content, reference our file content from SharePoint. Envelope ID, dynamic data. All right, so document title is optional, so we're just going to leave that blank. All right, so for template data item, we need to translate the data that's in our dummy consent form back into Power Automate. So looking at our dummy consent form, we have person name, company name, and we have an if show statement. So we're going to start off, we'll do the first one here, and that is person name, space, John Doe. And we're going to rinse and repeat. All right, so we have company name, Doe Enterprises, show statement, true. And very important, the prefix here shows up exactly as it appears in your dummy consent form. Again, as a side note, we can dynamically populate some of this data, coming in here and relying on data from previous actions, such as recipient name. All right, so up next, we're going to add a signature place. Down here, add a place, signature, drop that in. All right, so place key is what we're identifying as the signature in the document. In this case, it is consenter signature. Recipient key, dynamic data, document ID, dynamic data. All right, so now we want to start our envelope, wait for an envelope, and get our deliverable. So for start an envelope ID, dynamic data is going to be from create an envelope step, envelope ID. Now, the start an envelope action starts the signing process. It sends an email to the recipient specified. Wait for an envelope ID. Now, the wait for envelope action is very significant. At this point in time, this action is pausing the flow until all recipients have signed the envelope. Get a deliverable ID, the ID of the deliverable from wait for envelope. And we have arrived. The get a deliverable action is retrieving the signed, sealed document as a PDF. Lastly, what are we going to do with the deliverable once we get it? For us, we're going to place it right in SharePoint. Use their create file action in site folder path. For now, you can put this right back in the folder that you grabbed the dummy consent from, and you can statically or dynamically assign a file name. File content, get a deliverable, file content. All right, our workflow is now complete, ensuring all the variables are filled. We can save it out and we can test. Click test, manually, test, and run the flow. Right, so following along, we're getting some green check marks. Notice we're waiting here, and that's by design. This is the part where the recipients will be signing. So let's head over to the Signature API dashboard and check out the activity. So we can see here that the envelope has started, and then the recipient has been sent the document. If we click on this, we can see the recipients here, John Doe. We're going to click into it, and we're going to check out that email. Now, since this is test, an actual email was not sent, but we can still inspect what was sent to view it and sign it. Check the box, agree and continue, start the signing process, sign, and finish. All right, and the green check mark, our document is now signed. And if we look at our activity here, we can see that the envelope is completed. Heading back over to Power Automate, our entire workflow has completed. Wait for envelope, get a deliverable, and it's created that file. All right, and here's the signed document, and we get another even more important green check mark up here indicating that it's signed and all signatures are valid. We have our form filled in with the correct fields and data for the name, company name, and we have our conditional statement here. As we scroll down, we see a signed document. And at the end, we have our ever so important audit log attached to the end of the document. All right, so there you have it, an entire document signing workflow within Power Automate and using Signature API. Signed, sealed, delivered, and we're only scratching the surface. Stay tuned for additional scenarios and advanced techniques to take your document signing processes to the next level.